Okay, so let's dive into this really fascinating story. It's about a prayer that didn't just go unanswered, it actually transformed the very person who was praying. It's a powerful story about getting a no from God that somehow leads to a much, much deeper yes. So picture this. These are the words of Moses. After 40 long years of leading his people through the desert, he is standing right at the edge of the promised land. I mean, he can see it. This isn't just some casual request. This is the final, desperate plea of a leader, made just 5 weeks before he dies. His entire life's work is right there, just across the river. And God's response? It is just stunningly direct. There's no negotiation, no let me down easy. The text says God tells him, that is enough. Do not speak to me of this matter again. Wow. After everything, after 40 years of faithfulness, the answer is a hard stop. Period. A refusal that blunt, especially to someone like Moses, it forces us to ask a much bigger question, right? If the most righteous leader can have his deepest prayer denied so completely, then what is the point of praying? It's got to be about something more than just, a cosmic vending machine. Well, the answer to that question, it lies in this really powerful Hebrew concept of prayer, one that reframes the whole purpose. It's not about changing our circumstances, it's about changing us. It's a type of prayer called a Hitpael prayer, and this describes a really profound spiritual transformation, where the act of praying itself becomes this process of change. So it's not just something you do, it's something that is done to you and even through you. You can kind of see the journey here. We all start with that active, self-focused prayer. I pray for my needs. And over time, maybe that shifts, right? It becomes more passive, where we feel led to pray for other people. But that Hitpael state, that's something else entirely. It's this merging of your will and the divine will, where you literally find yourself praying for things you didn't even know you were supposed to care about. Okay, now this is where it gets really wild. Jewish tradition has this incredible insight. It's said that Moses prayed this one prayer to enter the land a total of 515 times. Now get this, the gematria, which is the numerical value of Hebrew letters, for the specific word he used for his plea, va'etchanan, it also adds up to exactly 515. Coincidence? I don't think so. So here's the crucial point. This isn't just about mindless repetition. That number, 515, it symbolizes a process. Through this relentless, persistent prayer, Moses was slowly, prayer by prayer, letting go of his own desire. He was emptying himself of his own will until he was finally ready for what God had for him next. So what happens after this whole process of emptying? God doesn't just deny Moses' request and leave him there in despair. No, instead, he gives him a new, and you could argue a far more important mission. And here's the big pivot. Moses' prayer started with his personal longing, right? To finish his own journey. But God's answer redirected him toward God's longing to make sure the journey could continue for everyone else. It was this powerful shift from personal fulfillment to building a future legacy. God tells Moses to commission his successor, Joshua, and to make him strong. Now, the Hebrew word used here is hazak. And this word is so cool. It means way more than just encouragement. Its root literally means to bind something tightly, like with a thick rope. God was telling Moses, your final mission is to securely bind the next generation to me and to my purpose. There's this simple modern story that just nails this shift in desire. A pastor tells about his grandson going to an ice cream shop, and instead of picking his own favorite, the first thing he does is pick out his grandpa's favorite. That's the heart of mature love, isn't it? It's no longer about getting what you want, but finding your joy in wanting what the other person desires. So, Moses' whole experience gives us these incredible takeaways. First, that ongoing conversation with God was way more important than the specific answer he got. Second, God's no wasn't a punishment, it was a redirection to a much higher calling. And finally, that true mature prayer doesn't end in getting our way. It ends in this joyful alignment with a much greater will. And all of this reveals the ultimate destination. For Moses, the true promised land wasn't a piece of real estate. It was a state of being. It was a complete and total unity with the divine will. This destination, this true goal, is captured by another crucial Hebrew word, ehad. Now, this doesn't just mean one like the number. It means a compound unity. It's a deep, mysterious, powerful oneness.
Okay, so here's the difference. There's another word for unity, yahad, and that's like simple addition. 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3. It's a group of individuals who are just together. But echad is transformational. It's 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 1. Think about a marriage where two people become one family, or the concept of the Trinity. Distinct parts merge into a brand new single entity.
And that was the real prize. Moses may not have physically set foot in the land of Canaan, but he achieved something so much greater. His will and God's will became echad. They became one. His personal desire was completely transformed into a perfect reflection of the divine desire. He had reached the true promised land inside of himself.
And so that leaves us with this final provocative thought. We so often approach prayer asking, what can I get out of this? But maybe, just maybe, the real question we should be asking ourselves is this: who is my prayer helping me to become? What is it transforming inside of me?